beloved, something about this moment feels different, and you can sense it even before your mind finds the words to explain it. There is a quiet shift happening beneath the surface of your life, subtle yet undeniable. It's in the way your spirit feels more awake, more attentive, as if it's listening for something just beyond what can be seen. This is not confusion, and it is not coincidence. This is awareness. This is alignment. This is the beginning of something sacred unfolding within you. You may not be able to point to a single event or reason, but deep inside, you know that something is changing. The weight you once carried feels lighter, the noise that once distracted you is losing its hold, and a new sense of clarity is gently rising. This is not something you forced into existence, nor is it something that arrived by chance. This is divine timing, intentional, precise, and deeply personal. Every delay, every pause, every moment of stillness you experienced was part of this preparation. God did not bring you to this point randomly. He has been aligning circumstances, shaping your inner world, and guiding your steps in ways you could not always see. What felt like waiting was actually positioning. What felt like silence was actually instruction. And now, the rhythm is shifting. The same life that once felt uncertain is beginning to move with quiet certainty, as if everything is falling into place without struggle. This moment is not about sudden change, but about revelation. It is about what has been growing within you finally beginning to surface. You are not becoming something new. You are recognizing what has always been there, patiently waiting for the right time to be revealed. And that time, whether you fully realize it yet or not, has finally arrived. You were never behind, no matter how it may have felt in certain moments. While others seemed to be moving faster, achieving more, or reaching milestones you had not yet touched, your journey was unfolding on a different timeline, one that required depth instead of speed. What looked like delay was not a sign of failure. It was preparation. It was intentional. It was necessary. There were seasons when life became quiet, when progress was not visible, and when it felt like nothing was happening. But in those moments, something far more important was taking place within you. You were learning patience, not the kind that waits passively, but the kind that trusts even without clear answers. You were learning how to remain steady in silence, without needing constant movement to feel secure. Growth was happening internally. Your mindset was shifting, your awareness was expanding, and your spirit was strengthening in ways that could not be measured externally. You were being taught how to let go of comparison, how to release the pressure of keeping up with others, and how to focus on becoming aligned with your own path. That kind of inner development creates a foundation that cannot be easily shaken. It is easy to believe you are falling behind when you measure your life against someone else's timing, but your life was never meant to follow their pace. You were being guided through a process that required stillness, reflection, and refinement. Every quiet moment, every pause, every step taken without recognition was building something solid within you. Now, as you begin to look back, you may start to understand why things unfolded the way they did. You needed that time, you needed that space, you needed those experiences to become who you are now. And because of that, you are not behind, you are prepared. There is a kind of growth that the world does not see, a kind that takes place beneath the surface where no applause can reach. It happens in the dark, in the quiet, in the unseen moments where your roots are being formed. Just like a tree does not begin by stretching toward the sky, but by digging deep into the ground, your life has been developing strength in places no one else could recognize. In those hidden seasons, you were being anchored. Your values were being tested, your faith was being refined, and your identity was being clarified. What felt like isolation was actually protection. What felt like stillness was actually stabilization. You were growing downward before you could grow upward, building a foundation strong enough to support everything that is now beginning to rise. Roots are not meant to be visible, but they are essential. They determine how high something can grow and how well it can withstand pressure, storms, and change. Without depth, there can be no lasting elevation. And so, while it may have seemed like nothing was happening, everything was being secured. Every quiet decision, every moment of resilience, every time you chose integrity over ease was strengthening your foundation. Now, you are entering a new phase, the reveal. Not a forced display, but a natural unfolding of what has already been built. What was once hidden is beginning to surface, not suddenly, but steadily. And because your roots are deep, what rises now will not be easily shaken. There is something within you that cannot be duplicated, no matter how hard the world may try to imitate or replicate what you carry. It is not something you learned from others, nor something you assembled over time. It is something that was placed within you from the very beginning. Your identity is not a copy of anyone else's path. It is original, intentional, and deeply rooted in truth. For a long time, you may not have fully recognized it. You may have questioned your uniqueness, compared yourself to others, or even tried to adjust who you were in order to fit into spaces that never truly reflected you. But even in those moments, your light never disappeared. It was always there, steady, quiet, waiting for clarity to uncover it rather than for effort to create it. What makes you different is not loud or forceful. It does not demand attention, yet it naturally draws it. It is expressed through your presence, your perspective, and the way you move through the world with depth and authenticity. This is not something that can be copied because it is not based on surface traits. It is rooted in who you are at your core. Now, that light is becoming more visible not because it has changed, but because you have. You are no longer dimming yourself to be accepted, and you are no longer questioning whether you are enough. There is a quiet confidence rising within you, a recognition that what you carry has value exactly as it is. And as you begin to fully stand in that truth, your energy naturally shifts. You are not trying to stand out, you simply do. Not through effort, but through alignment. Not through noise, but through presence. And that is what makes this moment powerful. You are no longer searching for your identity, you are embodying it. There comes a moment in your journey when everything shifts, not outwardly at first, but deeply within. It is the moment you stop searching and start becoming. You no longer wake up trying to figure out who you are or where you belong. Instead, you move with a quiet certainty, as if something inside you has finally settled into place. This is the turning point, the transition from seeking validation to embodying truth. You are no longer looking for approval in other people's reactions. You are no longer measuring your worth based on recognition, attention, or external confirmation. That need has faded, not because you forced it away, but because you have outgrown it. You have seen what it costs to constantly explain yourself, to shrink or stretch who you are just to be understood. And now, you no longer carry that burden. There is a new kind of freedom in you. You do not feel the urge to justify your path, defend your choices, or make others comfortable with your growth. You understand that not everyone is meant to understand you, and that is no longer a problem. Your energy is no longer spent on proving your value. It is rooted in living it. Peace is no longer something you reach for when things feel uncertain. It has become your natural state. You carry it with you, not as a shield to protect yourself, but as something that flows through your presence. Even in situations that once would have unsettled you, there is a steadiness now, a calm that does not easily break. That peace is evidence of transformation. You are not trying to become someone anymore. You are allowing yourself to fully be who you already are. And that shift changes everything. The way you walk, the way you speak, the way you enter a room, it all reflects a deeper alignment. You are no longer asking for permission to exist in your truth. You arrive as it. This is what makes this moment so powerful. It is not about stepping into something new. It is about fully stepping into yourself. The search is over. The becoming has begun. There is a noticeable shift that begins to happen when you are truly aligned. Things start to open without force. Opportunities that once felt distant or unreachable begin to appear naturally, almost as if they were waiting for you to arrive at this exact version of yourself. You are no longer pushing against resistance or trying to make things happen through sheer effort. Instead, there is a sense of flow, a quiet unfolding that feels both effortless and intentional. Doors are opening, not because you chased them down, but because you are now in position to walk through them. Conversations connect more easily. The right people seem to cross your path at the right time, and what once required struggle now moves with a kind of ease you may not have experienced before. This is not luck, and it is not coincidence. It is alignment, your inner world finally matching what has already been prepared for you. You may notice that you are no longer trying to control every outcome. There is a deeper trust now, a willingness to allow things to come together without forcing them into place. And in that surrender, everything begins to feel lighter. The pressure fades, and in its place comes clarity and direction. This is what happens when you stop striving and start aligning. Life no longer feels like something you have to constantly manage. It becomes something you move with. The path ahead does not need to be forced open. It is revealing itself step by step, in perfect timing, as you continue to walk forward with quiet confidence. There comes a point where words are no longer necessary, where explanations fall away, and where your presence begins to speak louder than anything you could ever say. This is where you are now. You are no longer in a place where you need to convince others of who you are, what you carry, or where you are going. That phase has ended. What you have become is now evident in the way you show up. Your presence holds weight. It carries clarity, depth, and truth that cannot be easily dismissed or overlooked. People may not always be able to explain why they feel something when you enter a space, but they feel it. They sense the shift, the steadiness, the quiet confidence that no longer seeks approval. This is what it means to become the evidence. You are not proving your growth, you are living it. You are not announcing your transformation. It is revealed through your energy, your decisions, and the way you navigate life with intention. There is no longer a need to defend your journey or justify your path. What is real does not argue, it simply exists. This is where everything begins to intensify. Because when you stop speaking from a place of needing to be understood and start living from a place of being aligned, something powerful happens. Your life begins to communicate for you. The way you carry yourself, the peace you hold, the boundaries you maintain, all of it becomes a reflection of what has been built within. You are no longer asking to be seen, you are seen. Not because you demanded attention, but because your presence naturally draws it. This is the beginning of the shift where everything changes, not through effort, but through embodiment. Now everything intensifies. The shift within you is no longer subtle, it is undeniable. Your energy has changed in a way that cannot be hidden, explained, or ignored. It is not something you are trying to project, it is something you have become. And because of that, people feel it the moment you enter a space. You no longer walk into rooms hoping to be accepted. You arrive already anchored, already certain, already whole. And something powerful happens in that presence. The room adjusts. Conversations shift. Attention moves. Not because you demanded it, but because your energy carries a quiet authority that cannot be overlooked. There is a calm strength in you now, a grounded confidence that speaks without needing words. People may not understand it fully, but they sense it. They pause, they observe, they feel the difference between who you were and who you have become. This is not about ego or elevation for appearance. This is the result of everything you endured, everything you refined, everything you chose in silence when no one was watching. It has all built into this moment. You are no longer trying to be recognized. You are undeniable. Your presence carries a frequency that does not compete, does not chase, does not explain. It simply exists, and in doing so, it commands attention naturally. This is the peak of your transformation, where your inner alignment becomes visible to the world around you. You walk differently now. You speak differently. You move with intention, with clarity, with purpose. And as you do, the world begins to respond not to who you said you were, but to who you have proven yourself to be. What is unfolding in your life now is not temporary, and it is not fragile. It does not carry the instability of something rushed or the uncertainty of something forced. What is coming to you has been built on a foundation that took time, patience, and quiet endurance to establish. Because of that, it is meant to last. You are no longer stepping into opportunities that feel uncertain or easily shaken. The relationships, the doors, and the resources that are aligning with you now come with a different kind of energy, one of stability, flow, and intention. There is no constant fear of losing it all, no need to hold everything together through effort alone. What is meant for you is not slipping away, it is settling into place. This is the reward of growth that was done the right way, not rushed, not superficial, but rooted and real. You have developed the capacity to hold what you once only hoped for. And because of that, what arrives now does not overwhelm you, it fits you. There is a calmness in this season, a quiet assurance that what is happening is not a passing moment, but a continuation of something greater. You no longer feel the need to rush ahead or secure everything at once. You trust the process because you have lived it. And now, as things continue to unfold, you can move forward, knowing that what has been built within you is strong enough to sustain everything that is being placed in your hands. This is the moment where everything begins to make sense, not through explanation, but through revelation. You were chosen long before you ever understood what that meant. Long before the waiting, the questioning, and the silent seasons, there was already a purpose placed over your life. And now, piece by piece, it is being revealed. Nothing you experienced was wasted. Every step, every delay, every unseen moment was leading you here to a place of clarity, alignment, and quiet certainty. You are not chasing what is meant for you anymore. You are standing in it. And what is unfolding now is not случайно, it is confirmation. So take a moment and breathe it in. Recognize where you are, not with doubt, but with awareness. This is your season of becoming visible, of walking in what was always yours. You do not need to force anything. You do not need to question it. You only need to receive it. If this resonates with your spirit, let it settle within you. Let it be your quiet Amen, a personal acknowledgement that what is unfolding in your life is real, intentional, and already aligned with something greater.